Hello?
Hey, John Five, Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. It's terrific to speak with you. Thank you very much for your time today.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure.
Let me say right from the outset that we're absolutely busting to see you returning to Australia again to see us, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
It would appear that you really enjoy coming to Australia. What elements of the trip carry the most appeal for you? It would have to be the best John Five fans in the world, right?
Well, I've always been such a fan of Australia. I have been there. I played the Opera House with Katie Lang. We've been all over the place with Katie Lang. Then with Marilyn Manson, we played a lot, and with Rob Zombie. So I've been there quite a few times, and I've just always loved it so much. It's just been heaven.
Oh, tremendous. We can't wait to see you back. And, of course, that was around about 1996, just a little while ago with Katie Lang. Do you remember what first appealed to you about Australia on that trip, or is it a bit of a blur now?
Well, to be honest, I live in California, and it just kind of reminds me of home a little bit because it's so warm and it's so beautiful and the people are so nice. So I just really, really love it. I love it there. So I'm super excited to come back. I just can't tell you. I just am so excited.
Well, we love it here with you here, so that's brilliant news. Sincerely, thanks to Silverback Touring. We'll see you and the Creatures on the 16th of April in Melbourne at the Prince Band Room, Friday the 17th of April in Brisbane at the Zoo, and Saturday the 18th of April in Sydney at the Manning Bar. I remember watching you absolutely shredding at Soundwave 2014 with Rob Zombie's. People's mouths were left agape and absolutely stunned to see the legend come to life so impressively. A few months later, you released the awesome Careful With That Axe. Do you think that those Soundwave shows really cemented your decision to tour here with your solo work?
Well, I've always wanted to tour there. Always. I've always talked about it. I was like, I got to get over to Australia. I got to get over to Australia. It's my favorite place. And now, luckily, I got an agent that is, really, he knows people there, and he said I can make that happen, and I was so excited.
Oh, wonderful news, of course. And now we have the Magnificent Invasion to enjoy with you on this tour. I can't wait to hear that sensational opening track, the title track, live on stage. Have you been opening performances with that track?
Yes. We've been doing pretty much all the songs from Invasion, and we mix it up quite a bit. But we're going to do a live album, and then it's called Live Invasion, and we're gonna record the shows in Australia too.
Oh, stunning. Absolutely brilliant news. We can't wait for the result of that, and to have it recorded here in Australia is just so special. While we're talking about the album, man, where did Zoinks come from? I mean, the title could not be more apt.
Zoinks is from there's a cartoon here called Scooby-Doo, and that's one of the sayings that Shaggy says. He goes, Zoinks? And that's where I got it from.
And the music, the guitar style just fits so well. It's a fantastic festival of funk with so many intertwined styles. It's utterly amazing. On the recording, I love the last cymbal reverberating, bringing calm from the guitar storm, as it were. Just brilliant stuff. Thank
you very much. Yeah, I really tried to, I just play what I love, and we had a great time recording it with all the country stuff, just all the different styles. We really had a wonderful time making the record.
Well, that really comes across on a track like Howdy. I mean, it really needs no explanation. It's just thrilling. It's a happier, upbeat, dueling banjo style of work. Where did the idea come from, especially the explanations of howdy throughout the track and the other vocal contributions? Where did that all stem from?
Yeah, that came from also, I love TV. So when I was growing up, there was a TV show called Hee Haw. And Minnie Pearl, whenever she came on screen, she would go, ha-dee. And so I just thought, what a fun song, and it's this crazy country. And those guys are just such amazing players. So, that's where I got inspired to do all that country stuff. When I was a little kid, I saw them playing like that, and I was shocked.
Absolutely. And I certainly don't propose to take you track by track through such a sensational album, but I do appreciate the opportunity to discuss a couple of tracks. I love that little jazzy solo that speeds up the finale. It's just golden in Howdy. Then a more malevolent style of Crank It, Living with Ghosts. What's that track about for you?
Well, what it's about is my son would listen to like EDM, and I always thought, wow, those that kind of music, I thought the riffs are great. I thought if I was a DJ and I just put a bunch of cool guitar solos, it's kind of like having a DJ playing the instruments. And I thought, I'm going to put a track like Crank It together. And then at the end, Living with Ghosts, it all comes and gets really crazy,
Oh, indeed. Beautifully put. And, of course, we can't wait to hear all of these tracks, let alone hear you performing on our shores again. Invasion is incredibly diverse. It's just thrilling. I can't imagine that Crank It motherfucker would have met much with family favour when you first picked up the guitar at the age of 7. But do you recall
right
before Dirty Tricks, what your aspirations were as a guitarist or musician? Was it imagining images of you on stage with a rock band?
I just always had a guitar in my hand ever since I was 7. And I was always just, you could never get me away from it, never get me away from it. I loved it. It's all I did. I just played and played and played. I played all the time, and I still do the same thing today.
Wow. And I guess as a lesson to us all, I mean, every parent out there, is the support that your family afforded to you in playing music.
I'm sorry, one more time?
My apologies. I guess a lesson to all of us parents out there is how much your parents supported you when you did pick up the guitar at 7.
Absolutely, yeah. It was, all the time I was playing, and they were very supportive. So I was lucky to have them and someone that was so supportive. And I would play clubs very early on, but they said as soon as you don't get up for school, you can't go play the club. So I always got up for school, and it was wonderful. My parents were very supportive, and that's what was important.
Oh, tremendous. So after moving to LA at the ripe old age of 17, with all of that experience under your belt, as it were, and playing with Alligator Soup, you met a dear friend of ours, a man we love, Rudy Zarzo himself, and went on to play with Sun King. Do I have that right? Yes.
That was kind of like my first professional thing,
So how important was that with Rudy? Oh, I'm sorry, John. My apologies.
No, it's fine. He was looking to put together a band, and he was like, okay, well, I'm looking for this guitar player, and this woman who booked us said, well, we have a guitar player, and you have to check him out. This guy is something else. So he came down and checked me out, and then took me to breakfast after one of the gigs, and we started a band, and it started just like that.
Absolutely, and I guess equally important would have been the meeting with Bob Marlette back in those days. John, did you ever experience a genuine personal awakening with a particular artist, maybe playing in front of the kit, in front of our good friend Popcorn, Rudy Zarzo himself, or Scorpions, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Paul Stanley, Ace Frehley, Rob Zombie, even Rod Stewart for that matter? Did you ever have that moment of, holy shit, look what I'm doing, and with who?
I always do. I'm so lucky. I can't tell you how lucky I am to be doing what I'm doing. I just can't explain it to you how, because I can't believe it sometimes, because I never thought of any of this. So it's been such a incredible journey, and, you know, because when you're a kid, you wish for certain things, but I never wished for any of this because I thought it was too impossible.
Indeed, I can only imagine back then. You did work with our friend Hailstorm, who we've got visiting, fortunately, Australia just next week, on what were you expecting from their debut album 10 years ago. Do you have fond memories of working with Lizzie, RJ, Joe and Josh, just as they were beginning to emerge onto the world stage?
I do. I remember seeing them for the first time and thinking to myself, you know, she's going to be a star. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I remember saying that to myself. I remember saying it. I knew it. And sure enough, you know, it was correct.
Absolutely. And, of course, John, I realise you're pressed for time today. I could go on speaking with you all day, and I hope that you might have time for a face-to-face interview if time permits while you're in Melbourne. But before we go, set list-wise, can we look forward to the tour namesake tracks from your killer album, Invasion? I mean, I can't get enough of that collection. As far as I'm concerned, you could play that from start to finish and I'd walk out with my mouth on the floor. But are there a few fan favourites that just have to be played?
There's, you know, we're going to play as much as we can and as long as we can. So we're happy to. We just can't wait for the plane to land and to get there. That's for sure.
Indeed, and we can't wait to see you here, John. It's been a thrill to speak with you. So thank you very much for your time. Please travel safely. We look forward to seeing you out here in April.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. John, would you mind just doing a quick shout-out for us for Silver Tiger Media?
Oh, absolutely. Hold on one sec. Let me get Hold on. I'm just putting so I get in a quiet place and really connect well. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. You ready?
I am.
Hey, this is John 5, and you're listening to Silver Tiger Media.
Fantastic stuff, John. Thank you so much for that.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
Please travel safely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.